Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Friday, the 6th day of October, 2023, Friday of the 26th week of the year, the 26th week in Ordinary Time. It is also Friday of Francis Week here at the Franciscan School. Here is our main entryway into the administrative offices for the Franciscan School. And today, on this Friday of the of Francis Week, we celebrated Grandparents' Day. So all TFS grandparents, T-Wolf grandparents came to the school for morning prayer, and then they were treated to coffee and donuts, a little bit of a continental breakfast, as it is, and then tours of the campus to see their grandchildren in play as students here at the Franciscan School. A wonderful morning that was held by all, a great way to wrap up Francis Week. There is still time, if you have not yet looked at the Franciscan Experience auction on the website, to be able to take advantage of the Franciscan auction and the various items that are still up for bids, because there are a couple of them that would be kind of nice to be able to bid upon. One of the things that I kept forgetting to do this week is that the great rock that sits in front of the Franciscan School, again, was painted by our parents, but our homeschool association parents, but in honor of the in honor of the in honor of the Franciscan Experience, and so there it is, and you can see TFS, our TFS emblem up on the top, and then let's see, the donations to be able to advertise, to make sure that donations come in for the Franciscan Experience. I should have done this on Monday, but I didn't. And then the sorry, I was wondering what this was. 24 years. Next year, we will be 25 years in existence as the Franciscan School. So 24 years, though. And again, the experience and the auction ends on October the 6th. But the real wonderful thing that is a part of this was that, again, there's this great image of me, again, reaching for the Dove of Peace. So I modeled specifically for that, using my athleticism and everything else that makes me who I am. So it's a fantastic likeness, I believe. All in shadow. So that the great rock, advertising the Franciscan Experience. Still time to look on the website. There's a QR code right there, and to be able to bid on things. Today, though, on this Friday of the 26th week of the year, the Prophet Baruch is basically extolling a kind of lamentation, and also a sort of come to God, because Jesus isn't there yet in Baruch, but a come to God moment about what it is that Israel had done to allow themselves to end up in captivity in Babylon. And so again, the fact that they did not listen to anybody, they did not heed anybody, the rules and the laws that God had set out for them. They wandered off with all kinds of ridiculous people who did not have their best intentions at heart. And again, this sort of a great reflection that Baruch offers on why it was that Israel suffered the way that it does, because it does not listen to God. It's simple, and because of that, not because God wants to punish Israel, because God wants Israel to be unhappy, to be miserable, to be hurt. It is because they don't listen, and they don't. And again, it isn't a listening that's going to rob them of their freedom or rob them of their ability to be who and what they are, or to express their uniqueness. It is basically a listening that is going to lead to life, a listening that's going to allow them to be able to experience the fullness of what they are called to be as God's chosen people. And yet they refused, and they followed down the blind alleyways that were not good for them, and they ended up in exile. It kind of just ends like that, as sort of this great lament, or this great acknowledgement of what Israel did. Now it begins to move, because Baruch is writing towards the end of the captivity, and the movement that Israel will now make back into the Holy Land. But it is, again, in this sense in which, do not forget that you ended up in exile because you did not listen. Do not beat yourselves up, though, because you did not listen, but now just begin to listen to God again. It is as simple as that. In the Gospel, in Luke's Gospel today, Jesus gives the great lament, or the great despairing remark to the city of Chorazin and to other cities around the Sea of Galilee, that again, one of the neighboring towns of Capernaum and Nazareth, that these places that Jesus has gone to will not listen to him and do not believe that he is bringing anything that is going to help them understand their relationship with God any better. And basically, again, another woe that is given out to Luke is very big on the woes. And again, what will happen happen to you if you don't listen to Jesus, or if you don't listen to what it is that Jesus is trying to offer. And, here it goes again, where, for Sodom and Gomorrah and for all those cities of the plain that God destroyed, it would be better for them, than it would be, for you who do not listen, to what it is I'm trying to say. So again, this whole understanding of just trying to give God, some time, to respond to us, to talk to us, to let us maybe understand ourselves a little bit better, to keep doubting that things can be different with us because we seem to just be locked in the same kind of things. God is the one who renews and refreshes. God is the one who brings us into new realities and new understandings of ourselves. But we have to listen to the guidance that God gives us. And sometimes that is the guidance that God gives us through those who are around us and through our family and friends who see, that we need more in our life and that we can get that more if we dare to just trust God in our lives. A continued blessed Francis week, St. Francis and people of God. May the Lord give you his peace. And don't forget the Franciscan Experience auction.